Hello developers, welcome to OctaCoder. Today we are diving into the exciting world of React development. Whether you are a beginner or looking to brush up on the fundamentals, you are in the right place. Today we are going to build a full React application from scratch. This application is going to use an API to actually display some data, and data is going to be a motivational quotes or thoughts. Today we are building an motivational course as well as an advice app using Advice API. So what do we have right there? As you see, we have a nice motivational roads, mountains and sunset kind of background image, path to success, that's motivation. And then in the middle we have motivational quotes. Some of them you must have heard and some not. But they are really motivational quotes, and who is the author of the quotes? The author name we will get through an API. Cool. So let's check out some of quotes. As you see, this quote starts where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and author is Arthur Ashe. And now when you click on the get quotes button, you will get another quotes like this. Okay, and if you click again, you will get another quotes. If you click, it will change. But have you noticed here in below, whenever I click, how many times you have read the quotes count is also displayed here below. And it's dynamically changing whenever I click on button. Count will increase as you see, right? So basically we are going to build this user-friendly design. This application is beginner-friendly. Whether you are just starting with React or you already have some experience, you are going to find this really easy. We are going to over basics and you should have no trouble following along. And if you are advanced developer, you can also build this and just add it to your portfolio. So yeah, without a further ado, let's dive right in. So we are currently in an empty folder. I have given name generate codes. You can also create on your computer whatever drive you have. Just open that folder in Visual Studio Code like this. Okay, inside VS Code we are going to open a terminal window, and now we can create a React project by tapping command npx create react app /. This means that the project is going to be created inside of the current directory being generate codes project. We can run that and we can wait about minute or 2-3 minutes. Okay, great. Now our basic React boilerplate is installed and we are ready to go right here. As you can see, there are a lot of folders created. We have node modules. In this folder all packages installed, so don't touch this folder. Okay, then we have public folder. Here we can contain images, favicon, logos, etc. Then we have src folder. Src folder has the most important thing when it comes to React. It's going to have our components, it's going to have our index.js, app.js, also the styles. Everything is going to be contained inside of this src folder. Since we have a lot of files, here what I like to delete some of these files. But before that, let's run the application and we'll see how it looks. So how we run React application? Just type in terminal npm starts command, and then it will open a browser and our application runs on localhost port 3000. And this is the first look of React application. This all coming from src folder. Okay, so let's go back to VS Code, and here we're going to delete some of these unnecessary files from src folder. Okay, so we only need the app.js, app.css and index.js and index.css. Let's keep these files and other files delete it. Be careful when you are deleting. Okay, and as you can see, we get some errors in terminal. It's because we deleted those files and in code we are using it. So let's remove these errors. Okay, let's open index.js file and remove what we deleted. So this report web vital we don't need now. Delete it, save it in app.js file. Here let's just delete all code, make it clean and clear, so you can learn all from scratch. Okay, and this app.js file is imported in index.js file as you see here, and it renders on browser. So whatever we write it in app.js file, it will show on the browser. Okay, so just write function. By default, we call our main component the app component. As you seen, is imported in the index file. So app functions, you can give any name if you want, okay, and import in other files. Okay, a component in React is really just a function. So this component can return something called JSX, which is a syntax that looks like HTML basically. Describe what we can see on the screen. So let's return div and let's write heading h1 tag welcome to OctaCoder, and we also want a button. Let's say get codes or get advice, whatever, because we are going to build a small app which will fetch some codes from an API and will display it over on the screen. Okay, so now all we need to do is to export this function. So export default and give it a save, and then it automatically reload on the browser. As you can see, we have the heading welcome to OctaCoder and a button. Great. But of course, nothing happens when I click here on this button. What I wanted to do is whenever I click on this button, we want to get a new codes or advice from an API. So basically we want to fetch some data from an API and display it on user interface. So let's actually write new function right here inside app. We will write an async function. Let's give name get advice so that we can use async await. And so you should be familiar with this basic JavaScript, and if not, don't worry. There is a full stack project Find My Restaurant on the OctaCoder channel. Just go and check it out. You will learn in that project all functionality from fetching API to displaying on browser. You will learn at least 8 to 9 APIs. So go and check out after this project done. Okay, let's get back to our code. So then here let's fire off fetch request, and here you need to provide API URL. So there are a lot of free API you can search on Google. So let's just search for advice API, and here this api.advicesleep.com. Open this link, and as you seen, here are a lot of APIs: random advice, advice by ID, searching advice. If you scroll down, you will see a lot of APIs. Okay, but here we want random advice, this first one. So let's just copy this API URL and paste it here. Okay, then we can await this promise and store it inside of response areas variable, and now convert that response to JSON format. So const data equal to await response.json, and then let's log it to the console. Alright, so inside our app function, we now have this get advice function, but we are not calling it anywhere, right? So how do we call this function? Well, we can specify the onClick method here inside the button as attribute. So onClick equal to curly braces, and here we simply write get advice. Alright, save it. Let's check on browser. Let's click on button, and something must change on console tab. So let's check console, and we get something here. So here we have this sleep, then sleep again, and then in there we have the advice. So here we have some piece of advices. So this is actually we want. So data.sleep.advice, right? So let's write that in console, data.sleep.advice. Save it, and now let's click on button. Now you get advice directly here, and all we have to do now is to get this string. So this text here we want it to display right here, right? How do we do that? Well, for that React have a concept called state, and state is the most fundamental concept of React. So whenever we need something to change in the user interface, we change the state. Means we update something that we call state. So we need to create a new state, and where to write, so we need to do it here at the top level in the function, and we write const square bracket then advice comma set advice equal to use state, and we start off with an empty string, and here we need to import use state from React library. Okay, so this use state here is a function in React which returns an array, and here we are destructuring that array. So in the first position of the array, we have the value of the state that we call advice here, and the second value is a setter function, so that we can use to update the piece of state. Okay, and in this get advice function, we can now use this set advice function to update the state, and then whenever this piece of state is updated, the user interface will also be updated. So let's call set advice here, or let's comment this one and write new one, set advice, so you'll understand very easily where we updating code. Okay, and now all we have to do is to use this advice right here in this JSX. Now this manual welcome to OctaCoder, we don't need remove it. Here we want to display advices, right? So by using these curly braces, we can fetch data. Now here we can write advice variable, save it, and then let's see the magic happening. So we don't have any advice displayed here, so let's click on the button and it works. We get random advice. Let's click again and then we get another one. Beautiful. So it's already working. So this is your first React application. Congratulations. So what I want to do next is to display down here some text which tells us how many times we have clicked this button. So let's write a paragraph tag here which will say you have read. Then here we can write any HTML, like we can make it span tag or a strong tag. Okay, for now let's write some placeholder value here and piece of advice. We want to make this number dynamic, right? So this is another place where we need some state because we want this value here to be updated over time. So we created more state. So again, const square bracket count and set count equal to useState, and initial value should be 0. So then here we also update count. So here we can use set count function. So we will update. So it simply takes the current count and then adds 1, and that will become the new count. Okay, now here let's replace that placeholder with the actual count value. Save it and reload. Click on button. Yeah, it's increasing and it keep increases whenever we click on button, so that works fine. Nice. But if you notice that when we load this for the first time, we have no advice here at all and we start at 0. So let's change that so that whenever we open the app for the first time, we already are greeted here with our first piece of advice. And we can do that with something called an effect. So we can use effect, then into use effect we pass a function, so we can simply call get advice, right? And here you need to import use effect. Okay, make sure you import useState and use effect. Okay, save it, and now you are seeing that it's getting completely out of control, and that's because we have a bug in our code. So here we need this empty array, and as soon as I save this, you see that it stopped. So use effect takes two arguments. First, a function that we want to get executed at the beginning, so when this component first get loaded, and then second argument which is called the dependency array. We will learn more that later. Just make sure that you have this empty array here. Okay, and if we reload now, you see that you get this very first advice automatically, and down here we also get two pieces of advice even though it should be only one. But again, we will worry about that later. This is just because of strict mode in development, and now if we click, then it increases. Great. But when we load for the first time, this effects will be executed twice. So that's why this increases 2 times. Okay, so this is actually all the functionality we done now. So to make it just a little bit more real world application, so let's create a new component for this message. Down here in React, all things we try to divide user interfaces into components. Okay, so let's do this here. Let's call this component message and make sure first letter is in uppercase. Okay, so here all we want to return is basically just this paragraph. So cut it from here and paste it here. Now we can include this component, so actually message, just as if it was another HTML. So message, and then we can close it immediately like this. but now we have error because we are using this count value, and here now this component has no way of knowing about the value of this variable. And so what we need to do is to pass it right into the component. So we do that using props, and the props is basically just like parameters to a function. So let's say we want to call this prop count using curly braces. Okay, and now here we accept count. Instead what we accept is an object called props. Okay, and here props dot count is now a property. Okay, save it. Now it actually works, and actually this is all that I wanted to do for this small real world React application. That's great. But this is for the advice API, and I want to fetch motivational quotes API with author name. So how we do that? It's simple. Just like here we fetch advice API, like that we need to fetch quotes API, right? So I'll just copy this line and paste, and I'll comment out this first. Okay, so you can understand where I changing. Okay, so instead of this API I have this quotable.io random API for quotes, or you can search on Google. There you will get some other APIs, but I like this one. It has good quotes and with author name. Okay, so first we will log in console to see we get data or not, like we did here before. Then we did sleep.advice, remember? So let's comment this one and console.log data and save it, and we get some warning. Let it be, we will correct it, that don't worry. And let's check in console, and here we get some data, and here we have author name and content, that is quotes. Okay, so how we get that data, you learned that few minutes ago, right? So let's data.content. Then if you take another console for author, data.author, you'll get quotes and author name. And there you go, we get quotes and author name. Perfect. Now how we going to display on the user interface, you already know now. So let's display here. So we need here another useState, right? So let's copy these and paste. And first one comment out and give variable name quotes, then set quotes. Okay, then here in h1 tag give quotes. Okay, and for author we also need another useState here. So let's copy these and rename give author and set author. And here we don't need this console now. Let's comment this, and we need set quotes for author. Okay, and here before button in p tag we will display author name. Okay, save it, and we get here quotes and author name. Perfect. But this looks very simple design, right? So let's do some design. So here we have already app.css file. So let's import it in app.js file. Here on top import./app.css. Save it, and nothing happens because we're not using any class, right? So let's give class in div. Here in React we write class name. Okay, then app, save it, and now everything become in middle. Perfect. So app.css working now. So let's write some CSS. Okay, here we have bunch of pre-written CSS. So let's get rid of some of them. This we don't need. Logo, now remove these, and we don't have header, so let's just remove header, but we have app, so keep it. And this text align, we can write it here. So cut and remove this and paste here, text align center. Okay, save it, and we get background color. Great. But instead of background color, background image will be good, right? So let's take some image. You can download from Google some nice background images. Okay, as I said before, images and logo, all that, put it inside public folder. And here let's create a new folder, give name assets, and inside asset let's create another folder for images, give name img. Okay, and all images put it inside image folder. Okay, and whatever images you have downloaded, you can put it inside image folder. Okay, so I'll add some images here from my drive. Okay, so I have added sunset to images. Okay, now here we don't need background color, remove it, and background URL and give correct relative path // then you will get suggestions. So select path, public, assets, image and choose any image. Okay, now give background size, cover and background position, center, save it, and now this looks great, but this text is not that much visible. So let's make this cool. Here let's give another div and class name, let's give card, and this close it before app div. Okay, so let's write CSS for this here. This we don't need this code, remove it. So now dot card, let's give background color black, width 60%, padding 2%, border radius 10 pixel. Okay, but let's give background gradient color to make it cool. Okay, background linear gradient 145 degree. I have the hash code of colors. Okay, looks okay. Text color, let's make it black. Now looks good. So now let's give some shadows to look more attractive. So box shadow 4 pixel 10 pixel and color hash code. Second -2 pixel 10 pixel and color hash code. Okay, great, all good. Now last, this font is not looking good, so let's give some other font. Let's search on Google fonts. Here search Spartan and click this one. So you can choose medium, bold, extra bold. Okay, I'll choose semi bold. Then here select this semi bold 600 and you'll get link. Copy this link and paste this link inside index.html file. This file is here in public folder. Okay, here just like we give bootstrap links, same like that, paste here. Okay, and then copy this font family code and paste it here. Save it, and now it looks great, beautiful. But I don't want this paragraph text in bold, so let's write CSS for that. And now this button is not looking cool. Now so I like the bootstrap button, so let's give bootstrap link in index.html file that you know that how to give, right? Then give class name for button btn primary. Save it. Oh, primary not looking good. Let's make it black, so remove primary and give dark because bootstrap have dark class. Hope you remember bootstrap. Okay, save it, but button width is 100%, so let's make it smaller. Just give align item center. Save now. Now button looks good, but background image is brighter. Make it little dark. How to do that? Let's just give here linear gradient and color hash code. I have it, so it will make little opacity darker. Okay, save it. Now it looks better. Great, this is beautiful. Now let's read some codes. Accept the challenges so that you can feel the exhilaration of victory. That's great thought. The written by George S. Patton. That's great, so I can know who said those words. This is another great quote by Stephen Hawking. Look up at the star and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what you makes the universe exist. Be curious. Great thought by Stephen Hawking. Abraham Lincoln. I walk slowly, but I never walk backward. That's great thought by Abraham Lincoln. These are great quotes. So congratulations, you just built your first React application. Great. So that's it for this video. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe OctaCoder channel for more coding tutorial. Happy coding!